Little Glory Bigora. Hello, hello, hello. It looks like we're right here right now. I guess because it's St. Patty's Day that I talk like this. I don't have to talk like this very long, but I will try. Nice to know that there are some people out there that like to hear a little story once in a while. No, not me. Anyway, I am going to show you how the other day I made a jellyfish marble. Hi, how you doing there, Mark? Good to see yous. I made a jellyfish marble, and with that I am going to now show right here real quick, just on this piece, how I made, let me zoom in here, whoop, get a little bit better there, how I made that cane for the jellyfish marble. I might have done that, but this time, and I'm not going to do very much of it, I'm just going to do like probably an inch, and that inch will turn into a lot, believe it or not. I'm going to have to ask you how to pronounce that name one of these days, Mr. Williams. I want to say dragon. How many times you've been called dragon? Now just well, actually that's a little less than an inch, but not much less. And that'll do me fine for what I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm making the little tentacle cane that I made for this jellyfish. Oh, I put it in the oven. Never mind. Never mind. So it's in the oven at the moment, but we'll get there. Now what I'm going to do is basically I encased it. I layered clear over this. It's actually turbo cobalt. And now I'm going to stretch it. And then layer clear over it again and stretch it again. Now stretching it thins out the cane that's on the inside, and it will help it in the long run. I also plan on doing today, it's St. Patty's Day, so I got to do something. I got to do something like maybe even make a clover or two. Or I could make, I've sort of was inspired today. They did a leprechaun on Corning Live, this demonstrations. And on the demonstrations, it's like you draw it, we make it. And it was a leprechaun. But I won't do the leprechaun. But I had an idea to try to do the pot of gold. And the little coins to go inside the pot of gold. We'll see how that turns out. Now again, I'm just going to layer that 1 inch. You can see how long I've made it into. It turned into a whole lot longer. And I'm going to again layer another layer of clear over it, maybe even 2 layers at this point. Why? Because I can. And what this is doing is sort of like thinning out the rod, thinning out the stringer on the inside with the color on it. And then what's going to happen is when I put it inside the the jellyfish marble. Now what I did was made this strand a little bit longer so that I know how far around I have to go, because I've already done it once. So just layering it over one more time. Hello, 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 and glory be Gora. Nice to see you, Ellen. And again, what I'm doing is layering clear over the rod, and the reason I'm doing this is to make the tentacles I'm going to make a cane of tentacles for making jellyfish and stuff like that. And you can use any color you want. And what I've done here again was I took, believe it or not, this whole 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches or 5 inches was 1 inch to begin with, and I layered it with clear, and then I'm going to layer. That's the thing about it, you can keep layering and it gets thicker and, I mean, longer and longer and longer, and still have the same strand inside. Here we go. Got a little bit ways to go. About halfway there. No, almost. 3/4. Maybe this will do it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stretch it again. And this is going to make the tentacles for jellyfish. And if you use a glow-in-the-dark or a CFL type rod in there with the light, once it hits it, it will transform it. I have done this with Illuminati a couple of times and talk about a bling tentacle you want to see with black light on it. Okay, now what I'm doing again is stretching it. And I'm going to continue until I get to the end of that, where I melted it all together. Oh, what is it about hot glass and my face? Ah! I get an itch when I got hot glass in my hands. Now, again, what I'm doing is just stranding this out, and this would probably be a good thickness for the strand. And you can see I've already done below that to where I could make a longer strand as well, but this should do for what I want to do. Okay, almost there. Just a little bit longer. And the itch is back, of course. Luckily I'm at the end of this. And there we go. Oh, and it's oh, that's so much better. Oh, there we go. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to use one of these, about an inch or so, about right there, and pull that out. Okay, now I'm going to layer these around each other, and this will give you your distance between each one of the tentacles. And this is not just for one jellyfish, this is for several jellyfish. And or if you wanted to make some really interesting stranded marbles, these you could do different colors, and it really would give it even more some more bling than what you got here. And I've gone about one time around, and I'm going to do it one more time. Why? Because I can. Hi, Bob. Now again, each one of these strands inside the cane here, you'll have to watch it from the beginning to see what I'm talking about, but I took colored glass, layered clear over it, stretched it out, layered clear over it again, and that leaves a nice thin strand of, yeah, you can't see it because of the light just hitting it just right, but here you can see all of those strands in there. Let's keep going until we got it all done. That way we got one that has a lot of, hey Libby, making jellyfish cane so I can make some jellyfish marbles. Hey, you haven't bought something from me for a while. You want some jellyfish marbles. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. We're gonna layer this in until this rod is all gone. And this is, each one of these red strands that you're seeing there is going to be a tentacle in the jellyfish. And after I finish layering all these strands in, I will then stretch it into a not really a thinner, but a rod from there. Kind of hard to explain, easy to do. And there we go. Now we're going to stretch this. Yeah, I should have put it, I'll do one with Illuminati. Why? So that you can see what it would look like. But now all I'm going to do is just heat, let this sort of melt in a little bit, and stretch it out into a cane. Now also another neat little trick when you've got cane or millie that you've stretched out into rods and it looks like a solid color rod on the outside, the best trick that I can give you, that as you put it down on your table and you think, oh, it's just a colored rod, and you'll forget about it and think, oh, it's just a colored rod, and start using it and waste all that wonderful, beautiful millie or cane or whatever you got in there. Okay? What I'm about to tell you will help you find it on your table and realize, oh, that's millie or cane that I do not want to screw up and make into something solid. Okay? Give me just a second and I'll show you the trick. Okay, now this, you can't really see it, but let's put this white behind it. You can see all those strands in there. They're really, really thin, but they're going to do the job quite nicely. But this is what I do. Like, this is some cane that has an eye in it. Just a little eye. But what I do on the other end is I add color. Just an odd color. You can add red, green, whatever you want to, so that you can pick and set that rod on your table and pick it up and go, whoa, whoa, that's got a millie in it. I don't want to use that. And, you know, that way it'll be a quick recognition and less cane wasted. Here's another eye millie that I did. Simple. But again, putting that cane on the end, or that color on the end, says, don't use that for anything else. Hey, Gary. Long time no see or hear from. Whew, what a year, huh? And then we continue living. Okay, so I'm going to make a jellyfish now that I've done all of this cane, just to show you what it's going to look like. Okay. I'm going to pinch it off right here because most of that is just swirled and kind of wonky anyway. Now I'm going to add a color. I think I'm going to add, let's see. I've got white, I've got yellow, I've got, ooh, let's do this transparent green. That'll look good for the top of the jellyfish. Okay. First of all, we put the color all the way around and on top of the strands that I just made. Okay. Don't look like much yet. Now we're going to add color clear over all of this. And the way we're going to do this, this is 8mm rod, and this is of course what you see. Now the trick is, I'm going to kick this up a notch. And now I'm going to melt and add a nice big blob almost to where, okay, you see where it turns green to the clear? Almost to that green border. Not quite to that green border, but almost to that green border, okay? Here we go. And we're going to layer it on. We're going to do it nice and deep and thick, except to that border. You want to leave that border open and untouched at the moment, okay? You'll get back to it, believe me. It's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic when it finishes. Now, you got that. Then what you got to do is go below that border that I've started and add another layer of glass, like so. And leave the border untouched on this side as well. There's method to the madness. Now you got a hill, a valley, and a hill, and you can see that what I'm talking about. Oop, oop. Of course it's gonna. There we go. Let's do this again. One little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to bring these two together just by heating them up, and they're going to melt together. It's like a drop of water or 2 drops of water becoming 1 drop of water. As it rounds in, it swells together. And where the valley was will sort of bloom the outside of this jellyfish to the outer border of the whole marble. That's just the way the jellyfish goes. So I just continue and keep adding. I think I'm going to add a little bit more to the marble. Yeah, that transparent green is going to turn out really, really well for the top of the jellyfish. You can, oh, there you go. Look at those strands. Ain't that pretty? This is one of the times I wish that glow could stay in there. But sometimes, no matter what you do, you gotta go forward with what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more to the top and a little bit more to the bottom so that this marble will be a little bit bigger. I'm not going to put it to the bottom yet. Just give me a little bit of time. I got to round off this top here a little bit. Oh, good thing I've got this. There we go. Make the marble round. This is a marble mold. Heat it up and spin it in there. You don't try to force it in, you spin it around in there. Okay. Might even have to make this marble a little bit bigger. But now we're going to cut the tentacles off down below where I'm at, like so. There we go. Ta-da! Now a cold seal on the top. Pull that off so it doesn't get contaminating the glass. Now I'm going to add a whole bunch of glass to the bottom. Here we go. And I'm going to push the center of this away from the, so like, and maybe spin it a little. There we go. Ah, itch again, itch. Ah! Got it. We're good. I've got a big bubble there, but I'm going to leave it. Hey Kevin, didn't see you there. Sorry, was paying attention to the marble, making sure I gave it justice, and I think I did. Hi Brian. Yes, I want to show people that, you know, most glass blowers, especially the ones that are watching some of my videos, they're just starting out and they don't have that big, huge, large, immense torch, or can't afford it. And matter of fact, Jeb, one of your fellow starting glass blowers, I guess you could say, just got a national 6B, and I wanted to show him what his torch was capable of. Hey BB, Sean, that's an interesting name. And believe it or not, that's what I started on, was, well, my first glass blowing torch was a national torch. I'm going to get that bubble out of there. Watch it, watch it, watch it. It's a little bit deep, but come on. There it went. Got her. And there's another one. Darn it. We'll leave that one. We got one. We'll leave the other. It is under C. Is it BB or B-by? Either way, it's fine. It's good to see people watching. I know it's not my normal time, Kevin, but I'm trying to fight that little bit of depression that I've been having, and I've been trying to get out here and do this instead of woe is me, pity me, and I thought this would be a good way to at least let other people enjoy a good day. And I'm enjoying the day as well, because when I get behind this torch, there is no feeling like it in my life. It really helps me to focus, and it really helps me to be who I am. Well, I was one of the first people in Hotmail to get Man of Glass. And also in Excite was Man of Glass. And then I decided to do an anachronism in Yahoo and became Yelling Whisper. But then everybody else got the idea of Man of Glass, so in Gmail and stuff, I'm Man of Glass Fire. So who knew? BB. Okay. Had to ask. Thank you for telling me. At least you're not BB-8, right? BB. No, that's now you're making me think of Flash Gordon. Okay, we're gonna tap this off. Actually, no, we're not gonna do another cold blow. We're just gonna tap it off and fire polish the divot. There it is. Now I have the oven on, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in there, and you guys can see it tomorrow. My kid was 8 when Star Wars came out, so yeah, BB-8 is huge. Well, in my time, there was a TV series, I think it was Flash Gordon, could have been wrong, but anyway, there was one robot in there, they go beady, so they call him Beady. Yeah, that takes me back. One of the characters was actually just a robot head called Dr. Thermopolis. Now, we're going to go ahead and do one more of these. I did one with green. Let's do one with, let's see, what color could I use? Let's see, but hopefully they show up in the, yeah, once you look in there, you can see all the strands or the tentacles as they show up. Now let's do this again, light the torch. Now that's a fire. Okay, we did a green one. Let's try a blue one. We got blue. Let's, oh, yeah. Where is it? Let me see. Come on. Oh, come on. I just had it here. I know I did. Here it is. Oh, here it is. I did one yesterday, and I'm going to do another one today. This is Stardust Moon, Blue Stardust. So we're going to add that to this. Okay. Now that kind of broke, so we're gonna nip it just a little bit below that. Okay, where was it? Just had it in my hand. Oh, I put my cutters right on top of it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just again do the same thing I did before. And if you watch this from the very, very, very beginning, you can see what I did to make these strands from scratch, onwards of just adding color to the top. And it's your preference of what colors you want to add to make your own jellyfish. I'm so jelly. I hear that's a word nowadays. But I'm not jealous. Now, let's kick it up a notch and melt some glass. I think this is a number 2 or number 3 tip that I have on here. Probably number 3 at the moment. And you can get a lot of good flame out of a number 3 and a number 4. I have a number 4, number 3, number 5, and some other multi-hold tips at my disposal, but I don't really use them that often. Again, okay, we're going to do right to the border. Ooh, I did. I got it all the way around, with very close, but not right at the border, so it'll be good. I'm going to layer some more up top here. And you can tell that I got close in that watch. You can see the color. No, you can't. But it's a little brighter right around the border of the rod, or the color. So this is going to work out really, really well for the marble. And if you want one of these, get a hold of me. I'll take care of you. Again, you got to try to stay away from that border and add more clear. Now you're just going to bring the two blobs together by just spinning. And it'll roll into itself, believe me. It'll roll into itself. There we go. You can see how that, well, yeah, you can see how that border, if you leave it, it sort of, well, it goes right to the edge again. See, it's hard to explain, but fun. What's the word that I'm looking? Exploit. You can do mushrooms like that as well. This time I think I'm going to swirl the tentacles a whole lot, because I can. Oh, that looks so sparkly. Sparkly. Bad name. I mean, bad word, huh? Spin it around. Oh, wig-wag it. Why didn't I think of that? Holy cow. Whoever just thought of that, thank you. Then you'll have the dangly swirly effect going on. Oh yeah. The next one I'm going to do right now, because it's right here. Strike while the iron's hot. And this top, I think I'm going to there we go. And then I'm going to there we go. Touch it. And now work on the top. Well, you guys got quiet all of a sudden. I guess you're too busy admiring my work. That's okay. Spin. You're not trying to force it in there. You're just sort of spinning it round inside the marble mold to make it round. It's not going to be perfect. Never going to be perfect. You're just trying to make it more round than it was 5 minutes ago. Yeah. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. He's going to live with that. Flaming. Okay, be that way. Oh, darn. I got to decline this. I'm in the middle of doing this. I can't. I know what I could have done, but no, I'm not going to do that either. Now I'm going to fire polish this. I think I did it a little bit sideways. And I'm going to put that one in the oven right quick. Well, guys, especially with that incoming call, I'm going to just go ahead and say hello and goodbye. And thanks for being out there. And Carpe Vitro. And enjoy your day. Thank you, guys.